Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be looking at one of my favorite topics, which is binary. And why is binary so cool? Well, binary is cool because it is a direct digital representation of the actual electronic signals inside a computer. So when you change your program and you change the bits and you change the bytes, you're actually manipulating the electronic signals inside your computer on the address bus and the data bus, and also inside the processor, in the registers of the processor. And so binary is really cool, and today we're going to be looking at a very specific topic in relation to binary, which is the numbering of the individual binary digits or bits within a byte. So as I'm sure you know, a byte is made up of 8 bits. And here's an example of a byte on the screen here. You can see we have 8 bits strung together, which makes up a byte. And these individual bits are numbered within the byte, and they are numbered from 0 to 7, starting at the rightmost bit, which is numbered 0, and it goes up to bit number 7 on the left here. And these two bits, the rightmost bit and the leftmost bit, they have specific names as well. They are called LSB, which stands for least significant bit for the rightmost bit, and the leftmost bit is known as the most significant bit, which is abbreviated MSB. So respectively, we have these bits numbered from 0 through to 7, ranging from the least significant bit on the right to the most significant bit on the left. And you might be wondering, well, why did they decide to number these bits from 0 to 7 instead of from 1 to 8? Well, there's actually a very good and a very logical and a very mathematical reason why they did that, and it has to do with the decimal value of these bits within the byte. So if we take a look here, we can see that each bit within the byte has a corresponding decimal value. When you're converting from binary to decimal, what you do is you take each individual bit, and based on its position within the byte, you can see what its corresponding decimal value is, and you simply add up all the decimal values of each bit within the byte that is turned on. So each bit that is represented by a 1 within a byte will have a decimal value that you would add together with all the other bits that are activated, and the total of that number gives you the total decimal value of that byte. So if you take a look here, we can see that the decimal values range from 1, which is the rightmost bit, which is the least significant bit, all the way up to value 128, which is the leftmost bit or the most significant bit. And you can see that the decimal values here, they simply double as you go from right to left. They start with 1 and they double to 2, then 4, then 8, 16, 32, 64, and finally 128. So now, if we take a look at how we actually calculate those decimal values, they are calculated by raising 2 to a certain power. And the reason we're using 2 as the base is because binary is, of course, a base 2 counting system. So in order to get these decimal values, for example, on the rightmost bit here, the least significant bit, we take 2 and raise it to the power of 0. And that gives us a decimal value of 1. And we do that for all of the bits as we go along here. So 2 to the power of 1 gives us a value of 2, 2 to the power of 2 gives us a value of 4, and so on. So if you're not familiar with raising a base number to the power of an exponent, then we can take a look here and see how it's calculated, which is very simple. You simply multiply the base number by however many times is indicated in the exponent value. So 2 to the power of 0 is always 1, and that's because any number raised to the power of 0 is always 1. And then 2 to the power of 1 is simply 2. 2 to the power of 2 is 2 multiplied by 2. And you simply go on doing that for the rest of the bits. 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the power of 4 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, and so on and so forth. So you might be beginning to see a pattern here and a correlation between these exponent numbers and these bit numbers, which is exactly why these bits are numbered the way they are. Because if you take a look at my final summary note here, it says the decimal value equals 2 raised to the power of the bit number. And you can see that correlation here quite easily. 2 to the power of 7, the bit number is 7. 2 to the power of 3, the bit number is 3. So the reason the bits are numbered from 0 to 7 instead of 1 to 8 is because in order to get the decimal value for that bit, you simply raise the base, which is 2, to the power of an exponent, which equals the bit number. So there you go. We have one more hopefully interesting and cool little tidbit we can just store in the back of our brain. And as always, thanks for watching. I hope you found this video a little bit entertaining and enjoyable, and we'll see you next time.